And how do you distinguish now? For example, the question which was actually proposed by Hajra, I think we really need to because every time we come around this question, we certainly do not get an answer which kind of suffices our heart, because I don't believe that all those children who are out there or all those parents who are out there would certainly want their child to go beg and get money home as well. There might be parents who, because of their financial constraints, might not be able to send their child to a school. So how do you kind of distinguish in between the population? For example, out of 100 people, how many people do you think are willing to send their children to school, but because of the financial constraints, they can do that?
I can safely say around for the kids around the age of less than 12 years old, 95% of the parents want to send their kids to school. And I'll tell you this, when I started Fareezah, when I was 5, I was doing it without even thinking about it. Now when I have time to reflect back, I can have my own analysis. But I'll tell you this, because I'm a lecturer at a government college, and I teach at government associate college in Remthabad, and I was seeing, and I was posted there since 2020, and I was seeing that there were not when I was going to college, I saw many kids were out in the street, just like in Kotha Kalan. And this area Dhok Munshi is also like Gharibabad, so it's the larger area. I could see a lot of kids not going to school. So what I did was I went to the government school near our college, and I spoke to the principal over there, and he said because these kids do not have bay form, it's hard for us to actually enroll these kids to the school. And also he said, I think this initiative of sending these street kids to school, somebody else did it, but they actually failed. So he seemed concerned about it, reluctant and concerned about it.
Because imagine, I don't think that for primary education, there's so much requirement of a bay form to be there. I think
there is actually there is. He even told me, I can show you a long form,
at
admission
least they can
form.
enroll the child, and then later on the bay form can come
I think yes, this suggestion, I think government needs to work something about it. I do think this was the problem in government school in Morga, because of which Fareezah opened. I could not enroll these kids in government school. So I was telling you this thing, in Dhok Munshi, when I went to these, because near our college there were around 10 to 12 rooms, meaning homes of people whose kids were not going to school, and I could see them playing. I went to them. I took my guard of college, and I went to these houses, because hardly it was 2-3 minutes on walking distance, and I asked them, if I want to send your, if I educate your kids, would you be willing to educate them? All of them said yes, for sure. And okay, I thought that they're just saying it because a college, a lecturer walked into their homes. But you know what happened? After that, I was trying to make arrangements how to entertain these kids. I was even thinking of asking my principal of college if she can actually spare a room so that I can, so I was trying to work out what to do about it. After 4 or 5 days, even after 3 days, those kids and those parents started coming to government college gate, and they started asking, so wo baji ne jo kaha tha, like that, so and I tell you this, one mother was, and she was Pashtun, and she had this like whole habaya, her face was covered and everything. She came 3 times to me, and she said, and she even showed me report cards of these kids who were studying in private school, and I asked them, if you're actually teaching them in private school, then why are you now interested in this? She said that because we do not have bay form, we cannot educate them in like government school, and now because of the inflation, I cannot now afford to send these 3 kids.
So why don't they have bay forms? I think that's another important question. Is it because they never go to Nadra and don't get it made, or is it some other reason?
So basically what I've understood in my 8 years is most of these parents are migrants. So they come from South Punjab and Punjab, in the middle heartland of Punjab, and they come to these urban centers.
For them to go back and then get it done.
For them to go back, for them to actually track back, because most of these probably deliveries happen in homes. So how do you get to register in
First
UC.
the birth certificate, then
The
yes.
birth certificate, then the Nadra Bay form and things like that. But you know what I've noticed is, and I think this is why I would strongly suggest the government who is interested, right, in doing something about it, is that we do not need new initiatives. We need more government schools, and we need a new method of enrolling these kids to government school. So we can have, like, you know, entertain Bay form from 5th grade onwards. Let's do that, because let's allow these kids to come to school. This is what we do at Fareezah. I do not ask them for any papers, and then when they come to and then they, you know, study with us for 8 years, you know, during some time they are able to make Bay
And
forms.
then how do you prepare them, you know, so let's come down to, you know, what Fareezah does to polish them and give them a skill set with which they can actually continue their education. So now, for example, you went to them, you know, to the parents, you enroll them. Now, what sort of studies are they going to be indulged in? You know, is it more of play? Is it more of basic learning? Is it more of a skill set? So how do you make sure? Because not just that, you know, you happen to be a magnificent educationist because of the fact that you've been to Indiana, USA for your BS. Not just that, you went to National Defense University for your MPhil. So you particularly know what you're doing. So please tell us, or our audiences as well, that, you know, whether how do you take them around on that roller coaster ride? Hey, you know what, it's going to be fun. Come on, join school. Fareezah today.
So I'll tell you that, you know, because my expertise is in political science, per se, and you know, I have learned how to run a school as I go. And the sense, I'm going to tell you what sense I have been using in order to know what to do and not. Firstly, obviously, because of my own education, we have been, you know, God bless, right? So I've been blessed by my parents that, you know, we have been able to get good education, and we have actually been able to know what to do in terms of, you know, change in the society and things like that. And the reason I'm mentioning this is that the reason I'm able to run Fareezah with the you know, the confidence that I can is because at DePaul University, where I was, you know, I went on a scholarship. I was, you know, part of many student associations, and because of that, we had to play a lot of roles. Like for MSA, Muslim Student Association, at that point I was vice president, so we had to like organize a lot of events. We had to invite, you know, guests. So I knew what collaborations are, how to go about running a team, and, you know, how to be a part of a team. So with Fareezah, what we do is we enroll these kids to school. We have this, you know, admission process that you have to go through. Our coordinator, Ms. Fareezah, she actually takes the test of these kids to understand what sort of knowledge they have. I do not discriminate regarding the age of a kid. If a kid is around 8-9 years old and his, you know, his or her knowledge is pertinent to like nursery, they are going to sit in nursery.
And how do you ascertain that?
Because of the exam, you know, so I'm sure my coordinator, they take the test of like write alphabets. Okay, what is this cat? Can you pronounce it? What is this sentence? Can you understand? So, you know, you can understand, you know, like this, what's knowledge that the
so it's
kid
like
is
sorting
standing.
an apple according to the size, right?
Right.
You know, so you know
Not
ABC.
according to the age, according to the size.
Exactly.
And this is also the problem that comes in government school. You know, yesterday I was discussing with that government school. I was telling teachers about, you know, that I'm opening a school in Dhokmunshi, and they said, you know, I wish we knew this because we are undergoing admission process. I wish we knew this because a kid came who was 8-9 years old and he did not know how to write alphabets. How can I make them sit in nursery? So this thing we do not have a problem of. So what we do is after enrolling them, we put them in, you know, according to the class that they should be enrolled in, and then we educate them as if any parent would be educating their child in any you know, public or private schools. So you know, we do give them in Fareezah school, we have like you know, I've you know, tried, my friends and I tried to provide them the best education with the best resources and books. And also
so the books and everything is for free.
Yes, we keep all the books at Fareezah. Some of the kids that we trust that they're not going to like tear the copies and books away, we kind of give them for home. So over the years we have like developed trust with certain parents, and we give them even for homes. And, you know, we give them like, you know, personalized attention for pre-playgroup and playgroup. We emphasize playful learning. I've made sure that our teachers have like Montessori sort of like a certification from Pakistan Montessori Council. We even like paid for their like Montessori training and everything. So Fareezah is a place which I believe what I would have wanted my kids to actually, the environment that I wanted my kids to have. I have tried, having that environment at Fareezah.
Right. So, Ms. Serish, now also reflect, because since you're an educationist, you have an expertise in this area and a vast expertise, I would say. So now, traditionally, the education system in which Shehzad and I went to, so that was a very teacher-centric education system, right? So teacher was the sole authority, and we do not have to question it because that was also considered to be ethically wrong, right? So you cannot question your elders, right? That was something that was taught to us, right?
Till today.
Yes, yes. But now I see that paradigm is changing a lot, right? So students are something, or teacher-student learning or interaction is considered to be a two-way learning process, right? So do you have this very strict traditional paradigm in the Fareezah school, or you are focusing more on imparting the education or imparting the skills? Because after, I think, 10 years, 20 years, the education that we are learning, that it's going to be redundant in the first place, because there's so much technology which is coming in. And I think the critical thinking skills are focused a lot, especially in the evolving Western education system. So let's focus on that and let's talk about that.
I really love your question, because my understanding is that kids should be able to interact with teachers. This is the sort of model that I studied at DePauw University. We had like around 20 to 25 sort of like a student discussion sort of classes, where there was professor who would sit on in the middle of the room, and we would have like chairs around the professor, and we would be interacting about the readings and everything. This is what I've tried instilling at Fareezah. My teachers know that because I am working at Fareezah voluntarily, I do not have any sort of interest, financial interest associated with Fareezah, because of which I am, these kids that are studying in Fareezah, they are my kids, right? So treat them as if you're going to treat my kids, right? So you're not going to be strict on them. There is no acceptance and no acceptability of physical punishment. I have over 8 years, I have actually, fired around 4 to 5 teachers. The moment I learned that any of a child, when new teachers come in, even we tell them rules, but sometimes some people do not abide it. And the moment I got to know it, and our kids are so much comfortable in telling us that, that they come up to my coordinators, they come up to the administration, they come up to me and tell me that. Our parents actually tell us,
and I believe that, this needs to be done as well, but we certainly need to appreciate the efforts that you have undertaken, for the education of the underprivileged, for the people who, for, those children who are orphans as well, for our domestic staff, whose children, cannot go to, or probably afford to go to school as well. So congratulations, first of all, for doing so much for the future generations of the country. It was wonderful to have you over here, and we are all prayers. And if there's any other initiative that you're going to undertake, please do let us know, and you're more than welcome on our show as well. But thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
It was very amazing to have you, Miss Serish Khan Sadozai, to be over here and to talk about how you're actually kind of making sure that Fareezah is going to be that umbrella for all of those children who have been out of school, but not really now, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have people like Madam over here. And with that, we're actually going to head out towards a short break. There's more on awareness and education in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.